Thanks everyone for coming. Tonight is the Internet of Things topic with Thomas. Before we start, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, Leap, for providing the venue here, and also Tranquillo for providing us the beverage part. Tranquini. Sorry. Thanks for. Okay, let's start. I quickly introduce Thomas. He is from the University of Applied Science in Zurich. He worked as software engineer in many companies before founding in 2009 Swissprime Technologies. So your main focus was on RFID solutions, and then you also try to build a very innovative product. That is what's your main focus of your company right now. So Swissprime Technology is the winner of the recent IoT Heroes 2016. So they are the winner of the security category for MyLock. So please welcome with me Thomas. And yeah, let's start. First question, could you briefly introduce Swissprime Technologies?
Yeah, I can try. Thank you. So thank you for the possibility to be here. Just a few words about Swissprime. I founded the company in 2009. That's a few years ago, and so we had a first product then, and now with MyLock it's our second product, and yeah.
Yeah, good. So what was the initial idea of the product that you want to offer? So let's start from just the first idea actually.
Yeah. So the first idea was a platform using RFID technology, and the thing was that we had to implement this kind of platform into different kind of electronic products, for example a coffee machine or something like that, and so the user would be able to use RFID cards to buy a coffee or to use a machine, let's say a medical product. So this was our initial idea, yeah. And we build electronics, software, RFID, cards, and a cloud application. This was the initial idea or the first product of Swissprime.
Okay. And why did you start? You know, why did you try to build this product? Who inspired you?
So I had a few people. They always talk to me and say, yeah, just do it, because yeah, there are a lot of risks and a few opportunities, but yeah, my goal was always to do something, and in a couple of years to look back on what I had done, and then to say, yeah, it was the right decision to do it. So yeah, I think this is only a good thing when you decide, yeah, what should I do, and where are the chances and where are the risks, okay. And yeah.
By when did you decide to leave your job? Because before you were employed as software engineer in a large corporation, so you had all the free weekends, working from 8 to 6 o'clock. When and by when you said, okay, now it's the time to focus on my own business?
Yeah, you're right. So a lot of work, no free time anymore, and less money. So this is the reality, but more fun.
Okay.
So I can do what I want to do, yeah. And yeah, every day I'm pretty happy to do what I can do. So yeah, it's all about the work. So it's not about the money or less to do. So it's about the work, and it makes fun. So this is the reason why I did it.
Okay, good. Which people were involved in funding the company? So you started alone, or you had other people with you?
So I started alone. and maybe half a year later there was the first employee. Yeah. It was yeah, and then maybe 1.5 year later, then the second one. So we were 3. Okay. So now we are 5, and yeah, we try to expand.
Okay. So your initial approach, what was the first product that you know, a customer you want to build for a customer, and why? So I mean, this is part of, you know, the product development. How did you figure out the need for a customer?
For the product now?
Yeah, for the product, the MyLock solution.
Okay, so just to sum it up, the MyLock solution, it's an electronic locking solution, and you can use your smartphone to operate the lock. Okay. So the basic idea is to let the users use their locks in a much faster and much more convenient way than using your traditional keys. And you can use one app for all your locks, and it should be much more comfortable than traditional technology or mechanical keys. Yeah, this is the basic idea. So more comfort, more convenient way to use locks, and much faster usage. And yeah, another good thing is that you can share permissions over the air, so you don't need to give a key to someone else, so you can do it virtually. Okay. I saw more comfort.
Okay. I saw before a product around. Do you have it that we can maybe show to the audience? Yeah. Just to give you a better idea of what exactly the product does.
So these are just two type of locks which are equipped with our technology. This one is a furniture lock. You can build it into furniture. Yeah. Let's say to have a safe storage room. Yeah. And this is another type of lock which can be equipped for example, in a gym. Okay. It's a locker. And there are other locks available right now, for example, for the front door, a door lock, or yeah, maybe in the future for the bicycle and so on. So our platform can be integrated in many different kind of locks. Okay. And yeah.
Do you have the phone?
Yeah, I can show.
Live? So let's take this risk, right?
We can try. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course it works. So I can use either NFC technology, that's near field communication, which just operates over a distance of, let's say, 5 centimeter, or I can use Bluetooth. This is a much higher reading range, let's say 10 meters.
10 meters, okay.
So you have these two possibilities to just unlock the lock.
And you also have developed the app on the smartphone, right? To communicate with the devices.
So there are the apps for the smartphone, Android and iOS, and with the app you can operate the lock, and as I told you before, you can share the lock permissions. The lock permission. Yes, and there is also a cloud, of course.
I can imagine that, you know, I can imagine that, you know, to develop this product takes a lot of time. And how did you try to reduce the development time, or at least, you know, the part to the prototype part, and try to go on the market? Did you try to go on the market as first as possible, or you first developed the entire product and then you went on the market?
So I just developed a prototype. Yeah. I bought a lock somewhere, and I developed a prototype and built the prototype into this lock. And I went to the lock manufacturer and showed the lock to him. And yeah, this is one possibility. You don't have to build the whole product in the first phase. So you can stage it, and you can try to reduce the risks. Okay.
So after that you developed this, let's say, prototype, did you go to the customer and say, look, I have this solution for you, do you want to buy it? Or what was your approach?
No, first of all, I went to possible partner.
Okay.
Because I think it's very important as a startup in this area that you partnership with others, because you only have to develop what you are good in and not everything. So, yeah. Because otherwise, so you have to be focused at the end.
Okay. So what was actually your first development for the first product? How did you approach the first time when you developed the RFID solutions? Because MyLock came into, let's say, it is a second product of your company. Did you use the same approach as before, or did you change a bit on that?
So with the first platform, the first product, we tried to do everything. So we tried to establish the market access, to find the customer ourselves, and so develop the product, find the customers, sell the product, and everything. So yeah, this was our first approach, and this is a difference to our approach now.
So you would say that you have now a better agile approach to the market, right?
Yes. So as I said, we partnership with lock manufacturers, and the reason is why do we do this? Because they already have established market access, and they have customer base, and yeah. I hope this will be a good idea in terms of faster time to market.
Okay. So, which market segment you were targeting first, and also later on? So, did you start with a specific market segment and then you discovered something else, or it was the market that you always thought about?
So there are a lot of opportunities out there, and as I said before, you have to focus. But yeah, so if there are opportunities which are and there are partners, then yeah, you have to make sure that you are flexible enough to just do where the opportunities are, and this is the way we do it. So, so we have a plan. We want to access the market in this vertical, but if there is an opportunity or a chance to shift, we have to consider this, and we have to, yeah.
Okay. So, but how did you choose actually the market segment that you say, okay, I want to be in this market segment?
So this was given because of the lock manufacturer, because we partnership with a lock manufacturer with some kind of locks, and then this market segment was given. Yeah.
Okay. So did you had already a clear idea of the business model that you want to establish, or you changed it during the this since 2009, or what is your idea about the business model in the beginning, and then how did you change later on?
So first, the idea was to sell the electronics and have a license for each electronics, and now there could be a second revenue stream for the services we provide by our cloud to our customers, and this is more B2C then. So the first stream is B2B, it's a license fee for the electronics, and the second stream is B2C, so services provided by our cloud directly to the customer, and this is a second opportunity.
Okay. So now the question on the innovation part, I would say. Why do you think your product was found more innovative than others? We know that Internet of Things developing quite fast. There are many startups now on that, but also some good established company that are focusing on this environment. So, what's your idea about the innovation that you are bringing to this segment?
So the idea of having an electronic lock is not new, of course. There are locks which can be operated by RFID card or a pin pad or something else. But there are not that much locks where you can use your smartphone. That's quite new, but there are others, of course. And I think there are some additional features like sharing keys, and maybe it's a niche here, furniture locks. And maybe this is also innovative in this niche. So, and we have a lot of features to provide our customers. The whole thing together, seems to be innovative. So I'm sure it's innovative.
So where is used your product? In which kind of environment? I would say stores, large corporations, or where actually? Offices?
Yeah, offices is a good point. There it could be very a real benefit when we have shared office environments, that you have a storage room for your goods. And there, it's a good thing to open and close this storage room by your smartphone, because the users are changing, and when you have cards or keys, it's much harder to administrate. So, for example, in offices, it's a good thing. Then in department stores or jewelries, to have a safe storage for your goods or the jewelry, and at home, there are a lot of ideas, a lot of potential, or the mailbox, of course.
What was your, let's say, main points that brought you winning, the Harvard in 2016? I mean, I can expect that the competition there was very tough. And how did you make, to win such a good Harvard?
To be honest, I don't know it, but so the good thing about our product, it's ready. You can use it, you can buy it. So this was not the truth for every product there or every idea. And so I think it solves the pain of a customer. So there is a customer, the customer has a benefit when using our product instead of using alternatives like mechanical keys. So there is a real benefit. And it's obvious, and Okay.
So actually, it's a very simple question, but I can imagine you can argue a lot on that. How difficult is to develop new hardware?
I think you should have some experience in developing electronics. It's not the same story than develop just software. Because when you build electronics, you have to make sure that it can be certified. When you plan to sell it all over the world, then you have to consider a lot of standards, and you have to do a lot of testing and certify your product. And it could be expensive as well. And so software is easier because you can change software very quickly. And you can build your software product in a very agile way. And this is not the truth for hardware, because there you have loops. You have to build new hardware. You have to produce the hardware. It costs more or less money to do that. but the cycles are much longer when you develop hardware. And when there is a mistake somewhere, then it's much harder to fix it, because the electronics are deployed all over the world.
Yeah. So in general, it's good practice, to have only the hardware part not very intelligent, I would say, and then the software part doing all the smart things. Yeah. Is it what you are focusing on, or is it your idea?
Yeah, this was a really important thing for our electronics, that the hardware part is as simple as possible and as much functionality as possible in the software part. So we use a system on chip. So there is a whole system on just one chip, only a few components additionally. So this reduces your bill of material, the production cost of the hardware, and this improves the flexibility. So you can change some hardware-like behavior by updating the software, the firmware.
So before you mentioned something about certification, could you shed some light on this part of the certification? Because when you build the software, you don't need certification. If you build a website, maybe you don't need the certification. But shed some light on this part of certification with the hardware.
So in our case, we have to consider standards for EMC, electromagnetic fields, and you have to make sure that there are no radiation which is not allowed. Okay. when you plug in the battery, and you have to make sure that when there is some noise out there, that then this should not prevent your hardware to work. And you have to do some certification when you build a product, including Bluetooth. Then you have to certify the product that this product is according to the standards of Bluetooth. And this is another thing. And there are safety standards. When something went wrong on the hardware part, there should not be a fire at the end. So this is another standard. There are a lot of standards you have to consider. Yeah.
How much did it cost you, the part of certification, and also adhere the standards?
Quite hard to say. It depends on in which countries you plan to sell your electronics. Maybe when you plan to sell it in Europe, it's over 10,000 euros.
Okay, over 10,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. I think we have a question from the audience. So, what about the battery of the hardware? How much it lasts?
Depending on the number of cycles, but it should be up to 2 years.
So once the battery is low, you cannot unlock anymore the door, or you are just out then?
Good question. So it's a typical IoT product, and it's connected, and it lets you know when the battery is going low. So you will receive an email, dear admin, the battery level is below 20%. Please make sure that you replace the battery in the near future. Okay. Yeah.
So in case I'm on vacation for 3 months, I'm traveling the world, and the battery goes down to 0, what happens?
Depending on the application, it makes sense that you have the emergency opening mode enabled, and then the lock will stay open instead of stay closed. It's not a good idea for the front door, but for a furniture lock, it's not a bad thing.
Okay. It's kind of PUC, right? That you have on the back end.
No, this is another thing. The PUC, or the so-called lock pin, is used to release a link between the app and the lock. For example, when you lost your phone and you're the admin of the phone, you have to release a link, and this is the PUC part.
So we know that it's very here in Switzerland. It's very difficult to the intellectual property on software. But what about the hardware part and also the software and hardware that you are developing?
You're right. It's very difficult to protect your IP when you just develop software. What you can do, you can protect methods you developed. So yeah, or a good idea is to combine hardware and software, or the whole solution for a specific application. Then you have a good chance to protect it. But it's a very expensive thing to do.
Okay. Do you have an IP on these products?
So the question is if we have a patent, or so there is IP, of course, but we think about the patent right now, but there is no patent yet.
Okay. So is it difficult to just try to have a patent on the product, or what is your experience? Do you have any experience regarding to that? So you are already looking to it?
So for our first product, the RFID platform, there were 3 patents pending. So yeah, I have some experience in writing patents. It's yeah, it could be annoying. No, it could be really hard work, and when you plan to protect your product or your IP in Europe or in the whole world, then it's really, really expensive.
Maybe once you have some clients and you have some money, could be a good idea to start, patenting your product.
You have to do it first normally. So yeah, but there are new products, there are new ideas, and yeah, new products out of this product, and yeah, there is a new chance for a patent with every new idea. So.
So my take on this is that you are saying that the patent is it's important, could be important, but also is also the marketing, right? That choose your product.
So with a patent, you have no customer. So a patent is good to protect your IP if it's possible, and it's good for exit strategy, because you can get more money with a patent, but you have no additional customer with a patent. So that's my opinion.
Okay, good. We have another question from the audience. How is MyLock installed? What kind of security does it have?
So security is a good question as well. So we use cryptography to protect every communication over the air between the app and the lock, or between app and app when you share a key. It's all everything is protected by using cryptography, and so this is the way we do it.
Okay, there is another question from the audience. It's difficult to find a good hardware supplier. Are the Chinese, Taiwanese, and etc. reliable, or better find an European one?
So you have a good one, a Swiss one. And so the point here, so if you build your product in a way that it can be produced automatically without any manually work, with no cables or no connectors or less connectors, then it's not much cheaper when you produce in China, because in Switzerland there are the machines and the same cost to operate the machine, or almost the same cost.
So another question: how do you convince a supplier or partner to work with you when you have no former product experience?
So to convince a partner, you have to show the product and show how it works. So, but I think the question is all about brand. So you have, at the beginning as a startup, you have no brand, of course, and yeah, you have to convince them in a in a way. It's depending on the product and your business, but of course you have no history. But I think your CV is, or your experience as an engineer maybe is a good thing, because in my case I have built products and software for about 15 years right now. So maybe this is a good thing to say, to share.
Okay, so even if you are a young startup, maybe your CV could help you in say, look, I have experienced that, and this product is here, is ready for you.
Yeah, you're right. So it's not only the experience or the history of the company; it's the history of the people, the employees there, and the team, and yeah.
So, who was involved and how big was your team at the beginning?
So at the beginning it was just me, and then up to 3, and now 5. But I have others which support me, and this is really important. It's a good thing to have a so-called mentor or coach, which you can interview, and it's a possibility for reflection for you to discuss things and have an opinion for something. So it's really important to have a mentor. For me, it was a real advantage to have one.
Okay, you're saying that you have already one. So who is your mentor, and how did you, let's say, met with him?
So one is my father-in-law, and I have another one, so 2.
So the other one is from different background, or how did you meet him? Or her?
From the network, so it's a different background, and he's older than me.
Okay, good. So we have another question. Has anyone ever hacked your lock? How do you continuously ensure that the lock is secure over time? That's a good question.
Yeah, so it's always work in progress. So if you build a version 1, you have to work on version 2, and then security is of course a critical part, and you have to follow the development, and you have to make sure that you follow some trends, and you use state-of-the-art cryptography. And the second part, has anyone ever hacked your lock? No, not yet.
So if someone can try for it, so it's good to give him some feedback. But just to him, please. What personality do you prefer to work with?
They have to be convinced about the product. They have to, when it's an employee, he has to be convinced and take over responsibility, and think with me, and not just work. So.
Another question. When starting a startup, it's very important to have a mentor who can coach you and help you reflect on work. But that was not a question. Okay. We have here. What's your approach to the teamwork? How do you manage the priorities? And I can imagine that you have a lot of work to do, and some nights it's very hard to go home at very late in the evening. So what's your secret on that?
You should be able to delegate work, not do everything on your own. And we discuss a lot in the team which would be the best solution for a problem, or how does a feature should looks like. And we discuss it, and if it seems to be complicated or needs a lot of effort to implement it, then we have to discuss it, because then it's the wrong way to do it. So yeah, but a lot of discussion, and then if we are sure that it's okay, then we have to implement it in a very efficient way. And it's then efficient when you have the right skills and the right people doing it. So it's all about specialists for each type of work.
So how do you manage your company? I mean, you mentioned something about delegating, but which kind of task you delegate?
Yeah, mainly the development. So I cannot develop a cloud application, so I have to search one which is better than me in developing cloud application, and the same for mobile apps. So you cannot do everything on your own. So you have to find the best people or the best engineer for this particular application.
So what are the key metrics you are tracking on a regular basis, or if you are tracking them?
Money on the bank account. No, as a startup, it's crucial, and so it's all about liquidity. So that's the.
So it's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay. How did you went about raising and financing? So how did you start? From where did you get actually the money to start with, or did you need some money for starting?
So you need time, and so it's a possibility to start when you are parallel to having a job. Okay. Maybe you can reduce then, and you do it half time, so you have some money, and yeah, you can start developing. But yeah, it's a good thing to start without having an investor. And just at the beginning stage, and maybe later on, it's required, but it depends on how fast you should be or have to be.
What's your view with respect to bootstrapping?
So bootstrapping means you finance your own. So at the beginning of Swissprime, we were providing engineering services, and so half of the time we developed applications for our customer, and the other part time we developed on our own products. And with this, we were able to finance the development of the own product.
So you were getting, let's say, the money for the product from your company itself, providing services. Okay. So yeah.
So this is the method, survival fight.
So now some question about the future. Where do you see MyLock use cases in the future?
So there are a lot of applications out there where you need or where you can install an electronic lock. Just to give you an example, so the bike, or of course the doors, and all kind of doors, the front door or the door inside the building, they're all over there. There are locks, and there are a lot of possibilities. But of course you have to focus and do it step by step. But there's a lot of potential out there for our product.
Yeah, please give me a number: 1 billion, 3 billion, or just the Switzerland. How you can imagine, this product in the future?
So regarding markets, we start in Europe, not in Switzerland, because I learned that they are much. So in Scandinavia, they're a step forward. So Scandinavia is very interesting for us, and of course Switzerland as well. And we plan to sell our product in Europe for the upcoming months and years. And maybe in a second step, why not worldwide? Because a product like this can be sold worldwide. There is no reason why not, except the regulation and the standards you have to consider. But when you consider these standards, then there is no limit.
Okay. So, which talents you will need to hire to fill, the gap in your company?
This is a tech product, so we need engineers and business experts for business development, to access new markets and see new opportunities and calculate new business cases and have the discussions with potential partners. So business development, sales, and engineering.
Yeah, of course. Which partnership you will seek in the future?
So probably new lock manufacturers, new type of locks, and yeah. Maybe a big company which is needing a lot of locks for any use case. Maybe there is a potential too. So, but at the end we need a partner which are producing locks, the mechanics.
So before we were already talking about mentors and advisors. How would you recommend us to start up, to hire a mentor? Actually, where they should look for a mentor?
Where?
Yeah, where?
I'm not sure what to say. So maybe you have to consider your network, or you have to talk to your friends, your colleagues, what is your idea, and yeah, there's always a way to your mentor. But you have to talk about, and you have to convince them.
Okay, so what are good ways to get the first customer? Just few keywords on that. So we already spoke of these topics. Just few secret, and what's your idea, or what did you learn during these years?
The first customer.
Yeah.
So the problem is, or to answer this question, we don't have a direct link to the customer, to the end user, because we are using our this partnership, and he has the market access and the end user. So. Yeah, in our case, it was important to have this partnership, okay. And yeah, this was the way to the first customer.
But in general, I mean, your partnership is also he might also be considered as your first client. Actually, what was your experience? How did you really got him? Because for startups, I think I would say this is the most difficult thing.
I think you have to show him the product quite ready to use or to sell to their customer, and yeah, this is this is a way to show him yeah, please partnership, and yeah, we can go forward very quickly. The prototype is already there, and yeah.
Yeah, just.
It's great you have an app and everything. How do you get your products? Sorry? I'm not clear on how you get your products. You have the app?
Just a second, I'll give you the microphone. So it's just for the recording part. So
yeah. So you have the app. I see it. But how do you get the full product with the lock and the app? Do you have to contact say I want to move into a new house and I want your lock, I want to do the lock thing. Do I have to contact the manufacturer, or what's the process?
There is a distribution network. So there is a distribution network all over Europe, about 10 distributors in different countries, and there you can go and buy the product. You can go to our website and have a look there, contact us, and then there are the addresses.
So my understanding is that they want to buy the product, actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're right. So. But this is something you have to build up. So this is not easy to build up the supply chain. So this needs some time. You have to partnership with different distributors and there is a German-based company which has a catalog where you can buy the locks.
Okay, let's move to the part of the question from the audience. Any other question? Yeah, I'll give you the microphone.
What if somebody steals my phone? Then he has access to all my front door, etc. Is there a way you can block the app without your phone?
So there are two kind of locks: the cloud locks, the app locks. These are two versions, and depending on the version of the lock, it's possible to revoke the access of a phone by just sending a revoke request from the cloud to the phone. Or there is another possibility that you just release a link to a lock and rebuild or re-establish a connection to the lock with your new phone, and from this point on, the old phone has no access anymore. So this can be done remotely out from the cloud or locally when you go to the lock and re-establish a link between phone and lock. So that's possible.
Any other question? Yep. We go first here, okay?
Can the lock be set for a particular time scale, so you could give somebody the access to the lock for 1 week, and after that you wouldn't need to do anything else?
So there are different types of permission. Once, always, 24 hours, and in the future you can specify some date or days of week. Yeah, all possibilities basically. Yeah, but for now it's always once and 24 hours. Yeah.
Okay, we go there. Maybe we can pass. Thanks.
The lock manufacturer industry is not the most innovative on the planet, and this is quite an innovative product. So I would think that consumers need to be educated about this, but I rarely see kind of lock manufacturer marketing materials coming to me as a consumer. But I would be, for example, interested. So even though you rely on lock manufacturers to partner, how do you create demand? Because are they doing any marketing for you?
For them, it's a possibility to extend their portfolio. They have different kind of locks, and they have the possibility to extend their portfolio with a new novel product. And this is a great opportunity, and for them and for us as well, of course, to have this product there in the portfolio. And you have to make sure that your brand is getting known from the end users, because this is a push-pull effect, and when this is done, then and the people. So the strategy here is when the people are using the locks at home, for example, and there is a sticker. There is no sticker on this. No, there is a mylock, powered by mylock sticker, and it's the same concept as Intel Inside, for example. So the sticker is on the products, and you see, it's a mylock powered lock. And when I buy another mylock, then I can use the same app to operate this lock. And so from a customer perspective, it's very interesting to have every lock with this technology, because then you can manage it by using just one app. So for a customer, it could be interesting. And hopefully this is demand from the customer side when they are beginning to use the locks and they want to buy more locks.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a question. There is like a sort of emergency key or whatever in case that I'm the only one that can enter on my house and I don't have enough battery to power on the app, so I have like the Kaba one that have this small RFID chip on the top that I can enter to my house, or I can call you and ask if the cloud can open it.
I can give you a solution. Just broke the window. Get it.
That's the point. Like, with the key, if you lose the key, you just broke the window. On that case,
Yeah.
on me it happens often that I get out.
Okay.
Maybe
the question.
So the question is, you have no battery left on your smartphone, or?
Yes, you have like an emergency, I don't know, dongle or whatever.
Yeah, in the future there are key fobs, which can be used to open the lock when you have one. So for the front door, there will be a mechanical, the possibility to use a mechanical key as well. But this is not a good situation, because but when you drive your car, you make sure you have enough oil in the. So it's a.
But like on my case, I have a RFID key for my car, and just in case that the battery went off, I still have the small key, and I need like to ruin the car, but I can start the car.
Yeah.
So that's.
For the front door, you have the same you can use your mechanical key as well. Yeah, for the front door. Yeah.
Or another solution is also call someone else that has the lock of the door and share with you, or open the door from the remote. So
The idea to have like a backup person.
yes.
So when the lock is cloud managed, you can always log into your account in the cloud and share the permission to someone else. So this is, in an emergency situation case, this is a possibility.
Maybe instead of blocking the window, you just go to the neighbor and ask for if you can use for the computer. Yes.
I'm curious about the user experience. This product is totally is revolutionary compared to what we are used with keys. And my question is, how do you unlock the psychological resistance? Because we are, I don't know many who invented the key, but the question is, how do you push people to think that, maybe this system is more, I don't know, secure myself, my house, and all everything I have, I love, something like that, to trust more this kind of thing than what we are used to.
Well, I think this is a general problem of innovation, right? When you have something that is innovating, you have also maybe some early adopter using your product, but maybe you have a better experience with that.
So you will need promoters, you will need early adopters, and it will need some time to change the mindset in the users, in the mind of the users. Yeah. This is hard work. Yes, but so if the benefits are high enough, then the hurdles are lower, and the users are willing to use your product if the benefits are high. But of course they have to change their mindset, and this needs time at the end.
Yeah, here, another question.
Yeah, just a quick two-part question. Competition, that's my first question. And the second, how do you make money? Do you share the commission with the producer, or do you ask us for an extra charge? You charge us extra on top of the lock?
second question, also answer for second question. We sell the electronics with a license fee. So this is the fee for the lock, or our revenues. Yeah. And the first question, competition. Yes, there is competition, especially in the field of front doors or doors. There are others, but there are not that much competitors. And yeah, but we have some advantages. Yeah, we have built in two wireless standards. So especially for the front door, it's important that you can unlock the door in a very fast way. So we implemented NFC technology, which enables you to unlock the door within a second. And most of the competitors only have Bluetooth Low Energy built in, and this needs more time to unlock the door. So for the front door, we think it's important to have a fast solution.
Yeah. Was another question? Yeah.
So you have to unlock the door to go in, but what happens when you're inside? Do you relock the door, or does it automatically relock, or how does that work?
So when you're outside the door, you have to unlock. So you have to authenticate you, and the door unlocks. You can push the handle down and go in, and after a specific time, the lock automatically locks again, and it's locked. And when you are inside, you can go outside without any authentication or usage of the smartphone.
Any other question? No question? No more question? Okay, then thanks for coming, and thanks for sharing with us. It was a very pleasure. Okay, thank you our sponsor again. Thank you to Leap for providing us the venue. Thank you also our beverage sponsor. That the name is Tranquil. And so before we go into the networking part, so we have also a bag for you from our sponsor. And our next event is going to be in mid of May. And it's Yuri, the founder of Maps with Me. So Yuri managed to get 30 millions of downloads of this app. So he will explain actually how he did. So follow us on social network, keep in touch, and yeah, let's have some drinks.